All right, we're live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today, we're going to look at the crypto markets and take a look at whether we're in a bear market now. We've seen cryptocurrency prices crash over the past, month and a half or so, and it looks like things just keep getting lower. And we're going to see, can we find a bottom anytime soon? Can we recover? Can we resume our trend upward? Or are we in a bear market? If that's the case, how long? How low can the prices go from here? We'll look at a lot of updates that have happened in the space since we did our live stream yesterday. We do these every Monday through Friday. We've started off at 9:30, kind of moved closer to 10 a.m. Central Time. Just turn on notifications, subscribe to this channel. You'll find out whenever we go live during those business weekdays. So before we get to that, if you're new around here, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to become a blockchain master step-by-step, start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. As always, last but not least, nothing I'm saying in this video is designed to be financial advice, tell you buy or sell any cryptocurrency based on this information. There's lots of scammers down in the comment section below impersonating me. Just ignore them and never give you my phone number or ask you to invest with me. All right, so we got people jumping in the chat here. So let's go ahead and take a look here at what's going on with cryptocurrency prices. So let's just pull up the chart on my screen here. So we see, let's see here. So yeah, everything has been basically in a sea of red for the past 7 days. And it looks like things just should keep going. Well, let me pull up my chart so you can actually see the past 7 days. Yeah, it's like everything is just going down. And it just seems like there's no end to when people want to sell. So it begs the question is, are we in a bear market? Well, I don't think that you can look at the trend that we've been in during the past, a month or so. It could say that it's been bullish by any stretch of the imagination. So I guess the real question is, so I guess what I'm saying is this right here, if you look at the entire cryptocurrency market cap, which I'm just going to use the Bitcoin price as kind of an index for the overall cryptocurrency market cap. If you look at Bitcoin over the past on the 90-day time frame, like it's hard to call this a bull market by any stretch of the imagination. So basically, I mean, this right here is a bear market. So the question is, how long will this bear market last? Will it be as bad as the bear market that we saw from end of 2017? That bottom, after a year or so, depending on when you want to count the end of the bear market, start of the next bull run. Will you see something that's that prolonged, or will you see something that's, shorter? So it's a good question, and time will tell. This is not something that anybody's got a crystal ball for. I think the top that we experienced back in May, at least how long term that top is, there's situations where most people did not see that coming in the first place. Okay, so we're kind of abandoning the playbooks. We're kind of abandoning the models that people were using to try to forecast what's going on and just see what happens next. And by the same token, if there are a lot of people who are incorrect in their models on where we would go in that short to midterm, it's hard to know if we'll experience the same type of thing when we're trying to model out where we'll find the bottom. So look at some possible scenarios here. So basically, Bitcoin, all right, you can see here, let's just pull up the chart and take a look at the prices here. So Bitcoin is right now at $30,000. We broke this $30,000 level. We saw some wicks down in here to about $28,000. Okay. So, so we still have some momentum in the, the wrong direction if you're long Bitcoin. Let's look at the Ether chart as well. All right, so Ether is down about $1,830. We've wicked down to about, 16 something here. So the important thing to see here with the Ether price is that we've broken the, let's see here, we've broken this long-term moving average, 200-day moving average. So there are a lot of people wondering, can Bitcoin essentially break its prior all-time high, its historical all-time high? Can it drop below $20,000? It's kind of a big psychological number for a lot of people. Wondering whether Bitcoin will go back that far. And if it does, what's going to happen? What does that mean for the space? Are people just going to be like done with crypto? Same thing for Ether. They're going to wonder, is Ether going to break its previous all-time high? Will we break down below, this roughly $1,400 levels? That's about where people kind of call the historical all-time high for Ether prior to this bull cycle. So one thing that's very possible is Bitcoin could maintain its price, right? Bitcoin could, hold 30,000. It could go lower. It could go closer to 20,000 without breaking it, while we could see Ether drag down further. Okay, it's very possible that Bitcoin maintains its level above its previous historic all-time high, while Ether and other altcoins drag down below. So I said this on the channel, lots of times during the kind of insanity that we saw when a lot of people were trying to find like lower cap altcoin gems and stay away from stuff like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everybody says, no, I don't want, Bitcoin or ETH in a bull market. But then they really don't want the stuff they forgot to sell in a bear market because the stuff is lower cap, because it just absolutely bleeds like crazy. This is one of the reasons that I hold, Bitcoin, mostly ETH in my portfolio, but I still have Bitcoin. Okay. Because when you see these types of drawdowns, I mean, Bitcoin's holding up the best out of pretty much everything. Okay. Now Ether, not as well as Bitcoin in terms of holding its value from the peak, but it's doing a lot better than a lot of the smaller sort of low cap gems. A lot of people were hungry for gains during the bull market. Okay. Or the past insanity that we've seen. So anyways, that being said, Ether, we could go, we could drop below our previous all-time high and still wouldn't be like the end of ETH or anything like that, from my perspective. And we could still do that while Bitcoin stays above its prior all-time high. So, who knows what's going to happen for the next, several weeks. This could be something where we see a bottom soon and we kind of consolidate and chop for a while, or we maintain bearish and a lot of the max pain has been had, or we could be in a situation where it's longer. I mean, I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen. So those are things I'm watching out for. That's the reason I talk about them. Will Bitcoin stay above its historic all-time high? That's a pretty strong psychological number, in my opinion. And Bitcoin can stay above its historical all-time high, while lots of other coins can drop below their historical all-time highs. Like I think Ether definitely can. I mean, we've bled quite a bit. We're at 1820, and its historical all-time high would only be a $400-ish drop from here. So if you got any questions in the chat here. So this is 1 hour chart, looks interesting. So this ETH needs a couple from decouple from BTC. Yeah, totally. So one thing to think about. So let's talk about some of the factors that were at play here. So of course, one of the biggest factors, honestly, is just the bearish momentum that we've had, right? The big bubble that, that kind of popped, at least for Bitcoin in April, and kind of into May for everything else. But one thing that's, been on the counter this particular week, is definitely, we saw this earlier. We saw sort of this warning sign. I guess it was on Sunday. Barry, from let's see here. So yeah, we saw this warning sign earlier this week about the grayscale. Basically, so Barry was talking about it's going to be a dicey week. So basically, we had the Bitcoin lockup for grayscale was basically unlocked. These were purchased in mid-January. Its institutions were piling into BTC. Now many are underwater with Grayscale Bitcoin Trust trading at a 10% discount at Bitcoin at 30K. All right, so that's definitely had some sell pressure on the market this past week. Some other perspectives on this market are, this. So I see this from Spartan Black here. For people out here who haven't allocated to crypto, the recent market sell-off has created an amazing entry point. We have basically unwound 5 months of price gains thanks mainly to the China FUD. Now, I think that's an interesting perspective. But that being said, I was here during the 2017, 2018, 2019, top 2017 cycle into 2018, 2019 bear market, depending on how long you want to count the bear market. And, something that I learned from that is definitely when you think it's over, it's not necessarily over. So if we do enter into a multi-year bear market like that, you can see people saying, I'm buying the dip, and they keep buying the dip all the way down. So it's true. Do I think crypto is going up long term? Do I think it's here to stay? Do I think we'll see these price levels again? I do, of course, think that all those things are the case, right? But from a psychological perspective, buying way too early in a long bear market is, it's not what you want to do. So like I said, I think that really the jury's out on how long this is going to last or how low we'll go. And that's really the $1 million question for a lot of people. And I mean, it's hard to know whose perspective is right, especially when you've been listening to people who have, said, oh, Bitcoin's going to this price by this date. And like, wait, we're getting pretty close to those dates. We're not even close to those numbers yet. And the momentum's heading in the wrong direction. So another perspective here is this right here. I saw this. I thought it was pretty interesting. So a metric here about miner capitulation. So for Bitcoin, out of all the bottom signals, in my opinion, the most reliable is the hash rate recovery after miner capitulation. So see the green X's on the chart here. All right. So right now miners are capitulating. Hash rate recovery hasn't happened yet, but when it does, that's when I'll be buying with size. So I thought it was a pretty interesting metric to watch out for as well. So another perspective on this market, and this is something that I talked about quite a bit, during the bull insanity, but I think a lot of people, were not necessarily, this didn't resonate with people quite as much as it would as a time like right now. So first of all, first of all, let me just pull up this right here that I saw. Sorry, I pulled this tweet that I saw. I want to make a point, but I want to show an article really quickly. Okay, so Visa, PayPal joined crypto VC Blockchain Capital's new $300 million fund. Okay, so these are pretty big players. All right. So PayPal and Visa are chasing bets across the crypto industry as partners in Blockchain Capital's fifth venture fund, a $300 million war chest, announced on Tuesday. Increasing crypto savvy companies, relative newcomers to crypto VC. All right. So basically, I don't want to belabor all the points in the article, but the whole point is we're still seeing major validation for the underlying technology, which is the core of really what I want to talk about on this channel. Okay, we talked a lot about cryptocurrency prices because it's been the hot topic for the past, 6 months or so. Everybody wants to hear what's going on with cryptocurrency prices, and when they're going down, people don't want to hear so much about them. But the whole point that I want to make here is that the technology is furiously advancing despite what's going on with the cryptocurrency prices. All right. And the long-term thesis on this channel is still that the more value we provide with these technologies, that can have a correlation with the cryptocurrency prices going up over time. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll absolutely explode in value like we've seen over the past 6 months or so. You could still call some of that a bubble while still seeing important long-term price appreciation based from real demand for the crypto assets. That's still a base level of demand that will cause those prices to increase over time. Maybe not at the insane 100x rates that we've seen it come across cryptocurrencies over the past 6 months, but we're still seeing really solid reasons why people want to use blockchain technology in the first place. And the cryptocurrency price crashes are not scaring away major players from getting into this space. Okay. So they see the huge upside of this. I mean, there's a massive upside to build businesses surrounding blockchain technology, because I do think it's world-changing technology, particularly around finance. Okay, there's lots of different apps. There's lots of different use cases for blockchain technology people are exploring. But the major use case that has really taken root for good reasons is finance. Okay. And we're talking about building world-changing financial technology. It's making a huge demand for people who understand the industry, understand the technology. And the point that I was circling back to a minute ago, the point that kind of doesn't really quite resonate as much with people during the bull markets, and when money is just easy and you can just throw a dart at CoinGecko.com and pick a cryptocurrency and you'll make money. When that's not the case anymore, people don't care as much. But the whole point here is, what I was saying throughout the entire insanity was that, a lot of people are going to cryptocurrency to try to make life-changing gains by speculating on cryptocurrency prices, when a lot of people can make insane cash flow compared to what they're doing now by working in the industry. Okay, becoming a blockchain developer, upping your skills, all that type of stuff. And like I said, that doesn't resonate quite as much when people are just throwing money at the roulette wheel and making all kinds of money in a crypto bull market. But in a bear market, having a high income skill like that is your absolute friend. Okay, because most people are not gonna make insane gains by shorting and doing all these more advanced tactics when crypto prices are going down. Okay, so that's at the end of the day, that's always the core of what I want to help you all do on this channel. So we got any questions here? Somebody says motivation. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, I'm invested in crypto for the long term. I'm super bullish on this space long term. I'm super bullish on the assets. Could they have been in a bubble just now and the bubble's popped? Very possible. But do I think that this is going to go away and we won't reach those price levels again? I definitely think we'll get back to those levels. I just don't know how long it's going to take. All right, that's the same thing. Are we in a bear market now? It looks like we're in a bear market now. We don't know how long the bear market will last. I do not expect a V-shaped recovery or just like, rocketing back up to, $65,000 Bitcoin in July. That would be very surprising. Somebody says, will it go up as fast as it went down? I doubt it. Because when you see that fast momentum going down, it kind of scares people away. It really does. I mean, there's a lot of people, and not just scare people away, there's a lot of people who just lost so much money, they don't have any money to put back into it. I think that's really true for a lot of, quote unquote, retail investors who just came to the space looking for fast gains. Well, a lot of them who bought during March, April, May lost pretty much everything. Somebody look at the prices last hour. Strong support is going right now. You might be. Somebody says coding live streams. Yeah, we might do some coding live streams. I got some ideas on how we could do that. If you'd be interested in coding live streams, let me know down in the comment section below. Somebody says I can see it take 2 years or more to recover as what had happened in 2017. It's possible. So a lot of people are saying coding live streams in the chat. Maybe we can do some coding live streams. I think I can find a way to do it. Especially what I think about the huge weekly head and shoulders down to $7,000 to $10,000. Yeah, I don't know. I think it, it's this market's incredibly hard to read. It's incredibly hard to read. I'm not saying that I'm great at reading markets in the first place. I don't really try to be a cryptocurrency price oracle that says, oh, it's gonna be this price by this date. I'm a buy and hold long-term, investor. And I think the price is gonna be higher than we are today. A lot higher. I just don't know how long it'll take to get there. And I don't need the money now. So, also from the technical fundamentals as well, we got a lot, still coming down the pike for the Ethereum roadmap. Okay. We talked about, I put out the video, yesterday about EIP 1559 being a major network upgrade that's coming down the pike, likely towards the end of July, the beginning of August. We kind of got an update on timeline from this from Tim Bako. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it already. But basically, this is going to be a huge upgrade for the Ethereum network. One of the things people are most excited about is the burning of ETH whenever new transactions are created. Of course, got layer 2 rollup technology coming out in full force. So these things are really exciting for the actual technology itself, okay? So I'm not saying that these things are just going to come out and then boom, the Ethereum price is going to go back up. I wouldn't expect, honestly, EIP 1559 to have a major impact on the actual price of Ethereum if the price is just going down, you know what I mean? And when you're talking about it affecting the market sentiment to get people excited about ETH, you know what I mean, to buy in anticipation of this big event, that thing typically only works in bull markets. And so if we stay in a bear market, it's not really likely that people are going to just get excited about EIP 1559, buy a bunch of ETH before it happens, if the momentum's just headed in the wrong direction. So I want to be totally realistic about that, but long term, it's an amazing improvement for the Ethereum network. And long term, like I was talking about, the thesis of the technology being amazing, more and more reasons you want to hold ETH, that value can accrue to the actual asset itself. That helps with that. And of course, we're on this journey towards Ethereum 2.0. We have the merge for proof of stake, on the roadmap for maybe the end of this year, early next year. These are all things that are super exciting to watch out for. And so if we do enter into a bear market that's prolonged, months and months and months, maybe, God forbid, years, then typically what you see happen whenever bull markets start again is something that gets people excited, a new wave of technological innovation. And, during the last sort of bull market top going in that bear market, people were wondering what was that going to be, because we had ICOs, the ICO wave kind of ended. People were sitting around scratching their heads saying like, okay, so we have smart contracts on Ethereum, but what do we do with them? We have these tokens, but nobody wants to buy them. And we already had some early DeFi projects that were starting to, the sort of the DeFi unicorns were already starting, like the wheels were turning, right? But they weren't really launched yet. But here, we have some pretty clear stuff that's headed down the pike. We are coming down the pike. We have all these amazing DeFi projects. We have Ethereum 2.0 with a clear roadmap on probably when it's going to ship. We're not just like thinking Ethereum 2.0 quote unquote soon, like we have no idea when it's going to ship, but we have some pretty strong indicators of when these things are going to happen. And it's very possible that those create some excitement that can kind of, be positive for the price of the actual assets itself. So we'll see. We'll see if that ends up happening. EIP 1559 is here to stay. Somebody says, so the real question is, what is the killer app? So, I think DeFi in general has been sort of the killer app for blockchain technology. It's where all the innovation's happening. I think there's one of the reasons that DeFi is still a little bit slow to take. There's lots of reasons why it's sort of slow to take off. One of them is just regulatory concern. Another is, the stability of DeFi. You know what I mean? Like I still think that savings and lending is a killer app for blockchain technology because, if you can download a mobile app on your phone, you can deposit, stable cryptocurrencies, price doesn't change, and earn a competitive interest rate like 10% on your just deposits. That's a huge benefit for just normal everyday users. But that being said, I wouldn't advise you or somebody in my family to go put their all the cash in their bank account into a DeFi app because there's still risk. There's still smart contract risk. The blockchains are still relatively young on the grand scheme of things. And it's not quite there, but it still holds the promise of getting there over time. So part of it's just, more mature technology and stability. Somebody says volume kicking in on the 6-hour chart. Somebody says, am I worried about my hash mask value? I haven't even really checked on my hash mask value, to tell you the truth. The NFT, stuff that was going on, I didn't buy a bunch of NFTs. I bought a few. The ones I did, I just sort of bought them and just hold on to them. I don't really watch out for them. I think the hash mask values have gone down, but since I bought them, yeah, I'm not really worried. Any of the NFT stuff that I purchased, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to buy this. If it goes to zero, it's not the end of the world. Somebody says, is Dapp University all closed? No, Dapp University is open. Somebody says, when am I buying again? It's a good question. Like I said, I'm still in profit on every single one of my buys. I bought mostly in 2020, some in 2019. I did make another Ether buy in January, and so we'll see if Ether dips below. I bought Ether when it dipped down to $1,000 back in January. So let's just check the Ether chart. If Ether dips below $1,000, that'll be my only buy in the last year where I actually lose money. Okay, so we'll see. I don't really have a strong game plan for buying more. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm not buying right now. I'm a very infrequent buyer. And I would probably only buy if things just absolutely got decimated. I'm pretty comfy in my positions right now. Somebody says gas fees are pretty insane right now. Let's actually take a look at the gas prices. Somebody says BTC prices. We're trying to recover. So the gas prices right now, yeah, are pretty high. So I think a lot of people are trying to clear out their positions. I think people have ETH in DeFi or at least DeFi stuff locked up, but they're trying to not get liquidated. So a lot of people have been buying with leverage, essentially where you take your ETH or whatever it is, you stick it into a DeFi protocol, you borrow a small amount, with like stable coins, for example, and you go buy another asset, or you just put in your ETH and you borrow a different asset that you think can appreciate in price, and then you're exposed to two things. You know what I mean? That's kind of that's what the leverage game is. So when the ETH price drops like this, or the DeFi prices or whatever it is, basically people are saying, okay, I don't want to get liquidated. I don't want to lose my principal that I deposited. So they're like rushing into the DeFi protocols to close out the positions and reduce their exposure so that they don't just have a massive unwind. So we got more questions in the chat here. Somebody says, "Do I invest only ETH or do I invest in Bitcoin as well?" Yeah, I have Bitcoin, mostly ETH, but I also have Bitcoin and a couple DeFi projects. So it says, buying this dip, no doubt. My friend told me about Bitcoin when it was 8 cents and I didn't listen. Not missing out again. I mean, yeah, you can buy the dip. I mean, it's not financial advice course to anybody. I'm just like my theoretical scenario here of, yeah, I mean, you could buy the dip. I mean, do I think that Bitcoin will reach its all-time high again? I do think it will reach its all-time high again. If it does, you'll make 2x on that investment. Just don't know how long it's going to take to get there. So it could still drop by 50% from here. I mean, it really could. I'm talking about probability here. There's nothing that says that Bitcoin has to hold its previous all-time high. It's an important psychological number for people in the Bitcoin asset long term, but there's nothing to say that it can't break it. Okay. So just know that for sure. Somebody says, are we going to experience a 2013 cycle? It's possible. It's very possible. So they're talking about how 2013 kind of had a double peak, bled out for a long time, and then just rocketed up to the next price. It's possible, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. All right, everybody. So that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel. If you haven't already, that really helps these videos out so the more people can learn about blockchain. If you like these videos and you're as fast into technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? You go to my YouTube homepage, you find my free courses there. They're like e-courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a massive shortcut entirely, I actually become a blockchain master step-by-step from start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right. You have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.